I'm a family hero, and so I'm out going first.
Y'all heard it best, man.
Yeah.
Y'all tuned in to Ends, the family podcast. We had Steph on this. Steph Joseph, the founder of.
You never know. Life's unpredictable. It's short. Life can take you out any way it wants to. So, yeah, it's precious. I learned that it's precious, definitely, to be able to be still here and meet these other new people and involved with the music industry and just creating and collaborating. And that's been the most humbling thing to me lately, because I couldn't imagine not being here and having all that I've done, been working really hard on, get this project out, and then, who and what would have done it, So.
You have people that will tell you what to do, but they wouldn't lead by example. And so,
exactly, yeah, they always tell you like you should be doing this, but they can't show you how to actually do it.
Right. I remember being in the car with my cousins, riding with an older male relative in my family.
Man, today, man, we're gonna be talking about marriage. We're gonna be talking about the truth, and I'm gonna give y'all my testimony, and I'm gonna also give y'all my understanding that I've been learning so far from this journey that we call marriage. You feel me? I'm gonna start off the bat by telling y'all I'm not the perfect example of a husband. I have not been the best husband, but I have learned a lot and have grown a lot. And marriage have showed me, have taught me how to become a better me. One of the first topics I want to talk about with marriage is just the understanding of what marriage is. Um, to be honest, my concept of marriage has changed the over the time that I have had to experience marriage. My ideology about marriage have changed, and I don't say that in a negative sense. I mean that in a positive. Because growing up, you either got traditional or current time. But marriage is a union between two or more people coming together to create a one. You feel me?
And to a lot of people, and not even to a lot of people, just to me, I'm gonna speak it about my testimony. To me, I didn't have a clear understanding of what that actually meant. Like we got a perception, not we. I gotta stop saying we. We talking about me. I had a perception of what that actually meant, and with doing so, I can contest, but at the same time, I agree and disagree with the statement that I'm about to say. And the reason why, and I'm gonna elaborate a little further, but I was ready for marriage, but I wasn't. And for a lot of y'all that's out there, y'all might be going through or might went through the same thing, which is, and I'm gonna elaborate. I was ready for marriage, but I wasn't. I was ready to to I I was ready to be with someone for the rest of my life, but I didn't understand what that comes with.
And for a lot of y'all that's out there and a lot of y'all that's married or going through the process or in a long term relationship, y'all probably understand what I mean because in reality, we live in a social media era. And in reality, our reality isn't our reality. Like the thought and the perception around getting married and being married is in this day and time unrealistic. So coming into marriage, some things are realistic and some things wasn't realistic. Um,
Me and my wife, I know my wife since I was probably six, 16 or 15. It was one of them numbers, 16 or 15, because I graduated when I was 17. So I knew my wife pretty much majority of more than half the time I've been alive on this earth. And I never really thought about that until recently that like, damn, I'm about to be 31 and I've known you for over half of my life. Because me and her, we grew up, went to prom, we did, we was fuck buddies, friends, relationship. We didn't try it at all, but we always was tight. We always at the beginning of our relationship, it was built off of like a bond, friendship. Of course, it was attraction, other things, hormone, all type of shit that go into effect. Um, but I came, but not I came. Yeah, I came into the situation with a perception that got checked real fast by the reality. Um, One thing about being married with someone and you actually going on that journey of learning, growing, and committing to someone, you will realize um, flaws on your own. Like, I had this naive perception, and this not knocking my wife or no shit like that, though. I had a naive perception that, like, because we already had history, that I that I know this person inside and out. It wasn't until like, oh, I feel like it's shit and things that I didn't know that like I feel like, oh well, or shit didn't play out. Not even I wouldn't even say play out because I'm kind of doing what a lot of people do. I'm kind of talking around the subject, but not really talking on the subject. So let me digress and continue to be vulnerable with y'all. Because at the end of the day, it's called Ends the Family Podcast, and everybody that tune in, everybody that participate, I look at it as we all family. You feel me? We might not like each other, might not like what we got to say, we might not, but we all here for the same goal. We want to see each other get ahead. We want to see each other be better. Um, so going into marriage, I ain't gonna lie. One of the biggest things, two of the biggest things I had were right. For one, it was a sense of entitlement. My feelings, how I moved, how I cared, what I had going on. I wasn't about to slow that down. I wasn't about to do none of that shit for nobody. Right? That's not what marriage is about. For one, red flag number one, which I like. The younger me and the older me have conversation with each other. I should have checked myself on that. Two, no matter how long you know somebody, when you are growing with someone, you have to understand that like y'all continuously learning each other. Growing with somebody is the ability to learn, adapt, and adjust with somebody else. Now, a lot of us we come into relationships being independent. For some of us, not all of us, I get it, but for most of us that grew up in the environment I grew up in, Detroit, Michigan, um, a lot of us was bred to be independent and to be individual. So when you go into not just a boyfriend, girlfriend, but when you go and you take vows to be there through thick and thin, sickness and health, rich and poor with somebody else, honestly, I didn't understand exactly what that meant. And I gotta be all the way honest about that. No, I did not understand exactly what that meant. Because when you married to somebody, you gotta understand every day ain't gonna be a good day. And it might not be even on a day by day process. Y'all might have a rough patch where y'all might go through some bad months or some bad years. But that's what you signed up for. And honestly, that was the first hard part for me to really grasp was you signed up for through sickness and health, through rich or poor, and through good or bad. And the reason I'm talking about this first is because we grew up in this social media era where we want shit that's microwave ready, which means it comes quick, instant, and I get my gratification right then and there. I ain't gotta wait too long. I ain't gotta sit in the oven for 2, 3 hours or 45 minutes or anything like that. 5 minutes in, out, boom, I got my satisfaction. Marriage ain't like that. Marriage take time and is both of y'all gotta see the effort and working in it. And when one don't, you gotta be there to still see it. You feel me? Um, and in the time that we growing in, divorce rates, a lot of shit like that is super high. And a lot of us don't really ask the question why. We don't take a step back, look at our environment, we don't look at our upbringing, and we don't look at our tools. And what I mean by tools is like, say like if you are emotionally intelligent, composure, shit like that. That's what I mean by tools, like learning how to control yourself, like your personal tools.
A lot of us don't think about that. When you dealing with somebody else, you dealing with a different personality, a different upbringing. You're dealing with a different concept, and you just dealing with a different person. And a lot of us, not even, I mean, I gotta stop saying us because right now I'm using myself as an example. When I stepped into marriage, at the beginning, I was transitioning out of a phase where my life was all about me. The sacrifice, everything I was making, I knew I was willing to make. But when you have kids, you have a wife, which means you got kids and a wife, which means you have a family, it's no longer about you. You can be ready to go crash out. You can be ready to go gamble it all, risk it all, take chances. You can't do that shit no more. And that adjustment for a lot of people is hard because every decision you make, every action you take, every word you speak is no longer your responsibility or just a reflection of you, it's a reflection of your family. And the reason why I say the actions, the words, move, woo, woo, is really understanding, going back to what I was saying, is like that you're still learning how to grow with a person. And everybody marriage is different, so a lot of us have our own concept. Some of it's traditional, some of it's new. Um, None of that shit really matters.
Because once you take that oath, you take that union, it's about what y'all two set in stone. For example, we live in a new day and age. Um, Back in the 60s, you couldn't ask. I mean, it was kind of rare. I mean, it probably wasn't, but it wasn't really talked about, wasn't really promoted as what it is now about threesomes, polygamy, and all this other type of shit, right?
It's here today.
Like, people was more outspoken. Like, yeah, we swingers, but we ain't got to call it swingers. Like, yeah, we got a girlfriend. Me and you married, but we got a girlfriend. Stuff like that is just pure examples of like you, you got your own marriage. You feel me? And one thing that my wife used to always say is like, man, everybody's projecting their ideology of what marriage is supposed to be like besides us. Like we ain't got like, and that's the truth because we ain't gotta do shit the way other people handle their business. You feel me? Like, you might look on social media and see somebody taking trips, but like in our first year of marriage, right? Your first year of marriage is what I learned, and from my perspective, it's supposed to be about setting boundaries, creating stability, and learning how to move forward as a union. That is more trickier than what it sounds. Cause shit, it's coming off the tongue. This shit sounds simple. Setting boundaries. A lot of people before they get married, they live together and all that type of stuff. So certain boundaries already been uncovered, but it still isn't because everybody boundaries is different when they're married. Like how you conduct yourself when you're married is a little bit different than how you conduct yourself as a boyfriend. Because at the end of the day, you can still walk away. When you married, you didn't sign up to walk away when shit just not going in your favor. You feel me? And that's something that I had to also learn too. Had to learn responsibility, maturity. You're responsible for somebody else's emotions, feelings, and happiness. A lot of times we be want to say, I like me personally, I don't agree with the whole saying it sounds good when it rolls off the tongue and motivation. Oh, you're not responsible for somebody else's happiness. Honestly, from my opinion, when you go look at any biblical or any successful standpoint, yes, the fuck you are. It's something that you vowed to do. It's something that you committed yourself to. And happiness is not just putting a smile on somebody's face or making sure that they ain't feeling down right now. My form of happiness, when I say being someone else's happiness, is is trying to be there for someone and be their catalyst to help them find happiness within their self. And that might go over the top of some of y'all head, but if you think about what I'm saying, if I'm next to you every day and I'm watching you self destruct and I'm just giving you all the tools, which I mean, I'm just enabling you because, hey, I'm trying to be supportive. No, I'm just enabling you to self destruct because that's what you want to do. Um, a lot of times in marriage, you're going to realize it's going to be a lot of push and pull because it's not about what you want to do, it's about what's better for the whole. So, yeah, you might had a bad day at work, come home, you on tip, you ranting, you doing certain things. It's on me to understand that, hey, one, learn how to manage the situation. Have some emotional intelligence. Don't be so quick to get into your pride, your feelings, your emotion. And be aware of what the other person is going. Because even though you might have also went to work too, and you might not had a good day, they came in on tip, and you want to meet the energy, you want to match the energy. That's not what it's about. That's going tit for tat. Honestly, that's really not what marriage is about. Marriage is understanding that, hey, you came into the house today, you had a bad day at work, you on tip, you got an attitude, you irritable. This ain't a good day for you. But I might not got all the tools to understand how to handle a not good day for you. But let me not hold that shit against you and take that shit as a personal attack. And what I mean by that is, it's like, but for lack of better words, I ain't down talking or no shit like that about my wife and not like that. But my wife is very blunt and she don't really hold no punches when she talks. And if when it comes down to marriage, yes, there's boundaries, respect, understanding, certain things like that. But there's also, when it comes to understanding, you also gotta know who you're dealing with. Me, I know my wife. Yeah, she can get slick at the tongue, stuff like that. I can too. Know that by myself. I can too. Um, but it's understanding the characteristics of a person, trying to learn the characteristics of a person. Understand when you get mad or you feel some type of way, or something like you, it's gonna come. You're gonna say how you feel, and it's not always just an attack, but if the floor is open, the floor is open. You're gonna say how you feel. Like, bro, I ain't trying. I'm not trying to talk about the shit right now. Motherfuckers get on my nerves all day. I ain't coming to the house for you to do the same shit. As direct as that is, to some of y'all that might sound rude, but to me, I understand it. Especially when it comes down to dealing with a person. I understand it. Sometimes we can't find a better words to put it in. You feel me? And in the heat of the moment, because you're human, you're gonna feel some type of way. But you gotta react. But the reality check gotta come in. Just because I feel some type of way right now, don't mean I'm gonna feel that certain type of way later on. If certain boundaries, principles, things like that got broken, um, you gotta learn how to communicate that. And not you, but y'all. But you also, it takes you for it. It takes a you for y'all. You know what I mean? It takes you for y'all to be y'all. So, in certain moments, I used to be thinking in my head, like, never let a nigga talk to me like that. I ain't going for no shit. I ain't never let a female do woo. Certain things I'm not going for. Them your boundaries. But if it ain't a principle, like, my wife talking to me, she cussing while she talking, I cuss while I talk. I'm not about to hold that against her. You feel me? But my boundaries, I don't like I don't like being talked to a certain way. I don't like nobody talking to me a certain way. Yeah. But understand it's the heat of the moment. We might get into a bad argument. Just because we get into a bad argument don't mean fuck it. I'm out. The grass green on the other side. I'm not about to deal with this shit. That's not that's not being real. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up to deal with that shit. The good, the bad, the rich, the poor, the good health, the bad health. I signed up to deal with that shit. So that right there, you talk about boundaries, it's another boundary. I had boundaries for myself. That fight or flight, I'm not gonna fight for the relationship, or if this shit ain't worth it, that shit kind of out the window. Because once I took that step, I also committed to trying to make this shit work. So just because you get on my motherfucking nerves this week, this month, maybe even this year, like, that's pretty much what I signed up for. And I know some people gonna try to argue with that, like, no, your happiness is everything. Ooh, ooh. A lot of y'all don't even know what truly make y'all happy. Y'all don't. A lot of people, and I learned that for myself. I'm talking from personal testimony. A lot of people can't tell the difference between instant gratification and genuine happiness. Instant gratification is like you found $100. Oh yeah, ooh, I'm excited. We up. Oh yeah, I'm about to go buy a bottle. I'm about to go do this. Ooh. Then once you spend $100, it's gone. Once you make that first move with the 100, it's gone. You feel me? That's that instant gratification. Now, the other one we was talking about, that's more so on the instance of, like, I landed me a good job. I don't get paid this week, but I'm happy because of the outlook. I'm looking forward to what comes with this shit. I'm planning for that. I'm not just, it's not an instant gratification like, ooh, I got the job, it's over with, shit exciting. You feel me? Like, that's just what, you feel me? Like, no, it's a long story process. You got the job. You're happy that you got the job because the job puts you in a different position, different avenue, exposes you to different things. It helps you build, it's helping you build you a better you. You're in a manager position. You're taking on more responsibility, you're doing certain things. It's a plus. but the instant gratification ain't there. You got the job, but you still got to put 2 weeks in the hole. Which means you still got to struggle. You still got to try to figure out how you going to make this shit work. You in the dough. You got the shit going on. You still got to figure out how to make this shit work. So now you hire to this new company. The instant gratification ain't there. 2 weeks in the hole, no payment. Boom. You learn a whole new system. It's frustrating. It's frustrating as fuck. Because it's new. And you trying to get this shit so you can be good at it. And a lot of us go into marriage. We want to go into marriage. We want to just be good at our bill. It don't work like that. Because it's not just you. It's you and a whole other person. So going back to like I was saying about the difference between the two, the instant gratification is like compared to getting a job. Like, yeah, like it's the long haul. You happy that you got the job, but now you trying to figure out how do I make this job work for me. I gotta do 2 weeks in the hole, so now I gotta figure out how do I get by with these 2 weeks in the hole. You feel me? It's like the beginning stage of a marriage. How do we make this marriage work? You feel me? While also building. If that makes sense. And yeah, that makes sense. Boy Bass, man, I gotta check it. I gotta check out this podcast, man. Something serious going on. I gotta check out this podcast. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me this morning. This is part 1. The discussion is gonna finish. You feel me? We're gonna start off with part 2. You feel me? Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the live stream. It's your boy Bass. Y'all tuning in as the family. Tuning out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We got more deep in depth conversations coming up.
I had to go to an asylum because I had a real breakdown, and I was like, I just can't do it, and, you know. But I remember being there for 5 days, and I've been in. I said, nah, I was laying on that bed and doing push-ups, and I was like, man, this ain't it. I just got to step my game up. I got to really handle this. So you know, it was like an epiphany while I was there, and I said, I'll never in my life get that low again, and I never did. Never did ever. At the age 16, 17 years old, when I was in my senior year of high school, I went there. I just did so well in high school. I remember my teacher telling me that I could write for the newspaper. I was one of the few people in school who got an A in English, and she's like, "You could write for the newspaper." She told me all that thing. And then I remember going to my graduation. Kwame Kilpatrick spoke at my graduation. It was at the Detroit Opera House. In 2007, and I remember walking across stage, and my teacher told me, "Congratulations, future."
And just tuning into the universe, learning as much as I can while I'm still here, and taking the predictables and the unpredictables, and just staying, blessed and grateful.
Damn. I'm gonna be like you, and I just tell you, you're gonna be better. But you know what I'm saying? That's how I define myself, the family hero. You feel me? Because I'm always rescue. I'm always there for a family member, a family member there for me. But it don't matter what it is. If I can come, I'm gonna come. But I'm a family hero, man. So I'm out going.
Y'all heard it best, man.
Yeah.
Y'all tuned in to Ends, the family podcast. We had Steph on this. Steph Joseph, the founder of.
You can't make it here, you can't make it nowhere. And I think that's for most cities, but it's something special about Detroit. Detroit should have been named Open Arms. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, like I was telling you, as far as investors coming here, and they capitalize so fast, and they shoot major moves. You know, they get plugged right in. It's like, where can you go and do that at? You know, where can I go and just get plugged in somewhere immediately? You know, I mean, and even the little outer little cities, Flint or Ypsilanti or like Livonia. You know, you can start anywhere in the D. Hamtramck, Highland Park. You know, so it's a lot of opportunities here, and it's more opportunities here is what I like now.
Yeah.
You know, that people don't realize because it's been so smothered for so long, but now it's even more opportunities in the D. That, you know, we so accustomed to be like, you know, the D's, you know, for people who poverty stricken, like it's a foot on you. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, we have to shake that off counter and realize that it's full speed ahead right now in the D. I mean, like my brother was telling me yesterday, like, we passed the millions. We supposed to be on $1 billion product, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like to get to the millions still. He like, no, he like, black people pass millions. We supposed to be billionaires.
Yeah.
And that felt good to hear, you know?
Yeah, like, it ain't nothing wrong
with million, I'm
shooting
trying
for
to,
that.
yeah, he like, you know, we didn't touch so much money that we actually supposed to be having billionaire conversations, you know?
That's real.
And I'm like, that felt good to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, you know, I know that, like that faith of a mustard seed, just a little drive. You don't have to have all this great drive. You don't have to be doing it on a big scale. You could be doing hair strand. You know, just a little here and there that's going to add up. And that's kind of where I'm at now, because I know a lot of my opportunities have passed me up. I've hesitated. And so that's why I'm anxious right now to just start doing little stuff. That's where I'm at. Because on the big scales, it wasn't happening for me. You know, I'm going to save up 50 bands and lose, you know, because the harder you work to make it, the harder they're going to work to take it from you. That's why all the millionaires hiding everything. They ain't hiding. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn money. You have to learn how to manage it. That's, I think, more important than making the money is learning how to handle it. You know, because anybody can get $1 million, but what you going to do with it? You know, like it's a lot of people that's been really successful. $100 million one year, next year they're at the shelter. What happened? They know how to manage it. So I believe that is important. Learning how to handle your money. For all of us. That's why, as babies, like I'll talk to my mom and she like, all we know how to do is spend. We're just consumers. And I'm like, huh? Yeah, she like, they didn't teach us nothing about money. You know, we didn't even know what money was. We get it in our hand, we spend it. That's all they know. You know, they didn't know $5 here investment, $5 here investment. You know, long term. You know, we just living for the day. Chicken on the table. You know, we got a roof over our head. It might even have a roof leak in there. We still got a roof. So that's how people would know. And you know, they bless people too, because money is problems, of course. More money, more problems. Meaning that, you know, that's why you have to learn how to manage it. If not, it'll drive you nuts. If you got $100 million right now, you know, we be thinking, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be, you be losing it. If you got $100 million cash right now, you be in a bad situation because you don't know how to handle it. You know, that's like acquiring a lot of problems. You know, that's why they notes. That's why they notes, they mean something. They letters. You know what I'm saying? The average person don't understand that, would never know how to handle money. You know, like my brother was telling me yesterday about, like if you was exchanging a property, it has to be a dollar amount. And I'm like, well, like, you cannot give a property away free. Just get somebody to title like it's yours. Even $1, that's why I noticed, like, when they buy, or they give away $100 million properties for $1, because it has to be a dollar amount. And I didn't know, like, why is they getting this big old property for $1? Because currency has to be exchanged. You know, so you learn different things every day. And, like building them nonprofits or whatever, to where you access the city will give you properties if you start a nonprofit.
No, that's real.
So, you know, like
you got discount rate.
Man, so that's a beautiful thing to know. You know, we out here trying to say we looking at the properties at $600,000, but if you just start a nonprofit, they'll give it to you. Like, huh? So that's good to know too. You know, information is valid at this point. When you're trying, it's not even about the money. It's about the knowledge. And that's what I'm learning. You know, because you can have all the money in the world and not make it. So the knowledge is more important than the money. You know, that's why I guess they say the man make the money don't make the man. Because if you got the knowledge, you're already successful. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I just wanted to ask you, you know, because you on the road. I just wanted to, and it was something that you were saying earlier, and I just kind of want you to kind of go back into it, because it was motivating. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. And I feel like it'd be motivating to the listeners. But you was just talking about, just going through adversity, you feel me, while trying to come up. You got to understand that, take on the little opportunities, accept the little opportunities, you feel me? And you feel me, like, be able to pick yourself up and just understand it's just going to come with this.
I feel that way too, because when you look at, the adversities, it's so much that could be against you, but you got to be focused, because that's what I noticed. Focus ability, you can do anything, and that's real. You know how we feel like, I can't do small things, but focus ability, you can do anything, and that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm trying to show my son, that no matter what it is you want to do, that's what I'm telling him. I don't care if the world is against you. No matter what it is you want to do, if you stay focused, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And that's what we have to learn. Like even us as spiritual beings, when you speak something in the air, it'll come to pass. When you say I'm gonna be an astronaut, and you keep at it, you're gonna be an astronaut, because you already programmed. No matter what the adversities is, I'm gonna be the best builder in the world. You keep speaking it and keep working at it, it's gonna happen. And that's what I learned. You know how some people tell you, I don't care how good you is, it's never going to happen for you. And it's going to be more of that, because it's fear. And the most successful people don't like competition. So when they see you on your grizzly, they're going to be like, man, it's not for you. They're going to come at you real hard because they're trying to shut you down. And that's what I learned. No matter what you're doing, athlete, singer, promoter, construction, investor, the opposing team gonna always come at you like, when you step on that court, they're gonna be looking at you like you need to go back home, because you ain't about to win this. You know why? Because they scared all day. Because they see that. They see that drive. They see that bull coming at them. They don't want to be shaken, so they got their fronts up. Like, we gonna shut this thing down. But when the bull come, they getting out the way. They getting out the way, and that's real talk. But they gotta have their fronts up. And they want to try to install that fear in you. And that's what I noticed about my own situation. I was wondering, like why everybody used to be against me on jobs. People coming at me like madmen. I'm helping them out. Yeah. I'm like, why y'all coming at me like that? I never understood it. Because they seen something great. And they didn't understand it. Because if they did, they would have jumped on a wagon. If I see a train coming and I can get on, I don't get ran over. So I understand that, that sometimes we hurt each other unknowledgeably. We don't understand, the way the system been created. Crabs in a barrel, ain't nobody getting out. So that's what I understand, as far as when your eyes open up, whatever you can do to push the next person. Because most of them are already on the edge already. You already got what it takes to make it. You just need that little encouragement. Man, I see you out here. It's looking good, man. I can see you doing great things. And a lot of times we just been so programmed to be like, that ain't gonna work. Give it up, man. I don't care what you do to government. Bill Gates, they ain't gonna see you. But it's just programmed. I would say illiteracy almost, because you speaking something you don't know about. Or you speaking hate or something like that you really don't even understand. Why you even speaking it? So research, I know, is very important for all of us. Research is very important. Like, do your due diligence. That's the most important thing, I think, before you do anything. Learn about it. Just don't take somebody's word for it. Always get second, third, fourth opinion, because they all gonna be different. And now you can put them in a box, and the right one gonna come out, is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, a lot of times we get discouraged. I got it. It might take you years, and you're like, I can't come up with the answer, and then it just lands on you. You're like, wow. So that's why I say keep at it, because it's gonna happen no matter. It's gonna happen no matter for you, And I think it's a beautiful thing for us to know that we already got it, and the world is kind of created to keep you away from the goal. It's like, we were born leaders, and so the average person at a young age, they start feeling like, I'm nothing. Like, people don't really feel important no more. I'm like, what's going on with that? If we born leaders and we powerful people, why is we feeling so discouraged? Which is difficult. How you got a bunch of leaders or kings and queens in a room that's feeling like peasants? They don't even add up to me, you know. Program. Like I say, program, because if you know you're great from a young age, you're gonna do great things. But if you feel like you're a nobody, your life is not valuable. You're waiting on it to end pretty much. I think that's got something to do with suicide. I'm not trying to go there, but I think that people just their value has been so belittled. They don't feel no value when they're worth more than anything in the world, but they feel less than a peanut. And that's discouraging to know. So, for everybody, keep your head up, stay strong. Don't stop, don't fight. I don't even care if you got one leg, you gotta crawl to the battle. And you feeling like you're not gonna win. You already won. God won it for you. All you gotta do is show up. The battle already been won. All you gotta do is show up. In any situation. That's why most people don't go to interviews. Most people don't go to business meetings, whatever it is, because they feel defeated.
Yeah.
But they don't know. When you show up, you already won this. Even if it's not this one, it's gonna be the next one.
Because they never expect you to even be there.
So don't never give up, because you're gonna get it eventually. As long as you keep ticking, it's like the turtle in the rabbit race. He kept moving and he won. No matter how fast the opponent was, he kept moving, he won. And so that's what I'm noticing too. No matter what it is in life that you're trying to do, as long as you don't stop, you're gonna win. I don't like even the guy who did Kia. They was talking about the Kia furniture guy. That his story was so horrible. He didn't think he was gonna make it. Nobody, if they even seen his story, they say, "No, this guy would never, ever." And look how successful he is today. And those stories are so encouraging. I think a lot of great entrepreneurs have that. Moguls have them kind of story. They have the most horrible stories. So I think that could be encouraging to people who got way more and don't even understand it. Like we have a lot. We have health. That's more important than anything. You got billionaires out here that would want your kidney.
Yeah. Big facts.
You're trying to get successful, and they're like, no. I need the health. Give me the health. You can have success. I just want to be able to breathe clear. So I think it's a lot of different obstacles that more or less fortunate people have to understand that you already got it. And their job is to make you feel like you don't. And I'm a prime example of that. And the way I feel right now, I'm getting somewhere. I'm gonna get somewhere. And I'm more patient. I'm settled. I mean, even if I never be successful, as long as I got happiness, you can't buy happiness.
Facts.
So no matter how much money I got, if I'm not happy, I'm losing. If I'm unhappy, I'm losing. No matter how much money I got. So that's where I'm at. As long as I'm happy and I'm healthy, I'm successful. That's how I feel. Because money, if you can't manage it, it's stress. You're gonna lose it. So, work on anybody who's trying to get money, learn how to manage it first. Because you can have all the money, like even biblically. What good is you going to people look at you like you something great, but inside you don't feel that way. What good is that?
That's real.
For people who don't have nothing but feel great, I go this way. But for people who don't have anything, but they feel like, rebels, kings, but they don't have a peanut, and they feel better than the king. So I think that's got a lot to do with, spirit, soul, the way you feel, drives you. Like if you get around people who got money, they feel great. Just even knowing they got money. They feel good, and that keeps that drive up. It's not too many obstacles in their way. They're not waking up trampling over ideas and going through a bunch of obstacles. We got it. They just like, it's phases. We doing this. They just knocking down walls constantly, which builds them up. That's why I say small things.
Yeah.
Like I
tell
a lot of my friends, they be talking about all these great business adventures. Sell toothpicks. I can go in the backyard, chop some wood down, sell toothpicks and become rich. Even the toothpick man is a millionaire. So on levels like that, and it's good to share the information. That's another thing I noticed. People withhold information. Mentally unsuccessful. Because our quote is sharing is caring. And when you hold things back from people, you hold yourself back.
See? You know, or it's a lot of business moguls that their time is valuable. They're not getting on the phone unless you got 20 or 30 stacks. 5-minute conversation, I need 20 stacks. Like, what? But it's going to get you somewhere, which I understand, and I would never come against that. You know, because I understand that time is money. And that's why some people don't have the time. That's why some people don't realize, you know, they always talking about, where you at, what you doing? And so a lot of people don't realize how valuable time is, you know. And that's why, you know, people with money, their time is, you know, scheduling. You want to talk to me next week at 5 o'clock, you ain't there, you see me in years from now. They don't even reschedule you. If you miss this appointment, you're done. You know, because their time is valuable. They have no time to waste. You know, because they know how important their time is and how valuable it is. And they're not wasting it for no one. No matter what the numbers are, they don't have time to waste. You missed that first appointment, stick a fork in you, because you like a steak that's done. And as they say, you can't refry chicken. If you do, I don't think it's going to have that great taste that you're looking for. Like refrying a steak, it ain't going to happen. So,
that's real. That's real.
On levels like that, you got to be that time, that being on time. You know how most of us is late. You know, we always late. It's like we last minute. We know we got to be somewhere at 10. We wake up at 9, take us half an hour to get ready. We got to eat. Then things pop up. That's why I notice people who about their business, they super early. They super early because their time is important. And they need their money. And they don't have a second. They like, can I come 10 minutes early? Can I be there 5 minutes early? Because they know that anything can pop up. You know, and now you missed it. You can miss it. Like somebody's important time. You had a business meeting 2 minutes late. Guess what? Cancel.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? And you're like, I'm not late. Yes, you are late. And their time is valuable. They're already on a plane out the country. You know, you mad in the parking lot. Because, you know, you done spent your little time and money to get there. They're like, no, go on. Catch me. Catch me if you can.
All right, well, on that note, we just pulled up to the spot, to the job location.
Man, that's what's happening.
Man, I appreciate your words of wisdom, man.
Not a problem. Anytime, man.
Man, let them know how they can contact you if they want to reach out.
We got to interact. Well, they can contact me at 313-828-8976. We can talk about just about anything because I think I can be my own therapist. But, yeah, absolutely. Y'all can call me anytime, anywhere. You know, leave a voice message, send a text, do whatever y'all got to do, and we can most definitely make some connections because, you know, we're power and we don't understand the power that we possess, and that interaction is very important. I think interacting with each other and just them little tit for tats we can share gonna get us to the next phase. You know, gonna get us to the next mile. It's like if somebody want to go a mile, go 2 miles. You know, because it's gonna benefit you. You know, and we've been trained to be so selfish, hiding and not sharing, and it stunts our growth. So the more we share and care, the further we're going to be. And that's just how I feel about it.
For sure.
The further we're going to be in life, the more we share and care.
This is podcast. It's your man's Q.
Q in the building.
Man, don't forget to shout your business out, man.
Oh, yeah, man. We do a lot of home remodeling. Things that they need, and we know how to get them done. We just here to help each other because we're going to help each other get to the next level. And anything y'all need done, man, just don't be shy to call or text, even if it's just some encouragement, man. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
Make it happen.
Oh.
You have people that will tell you what to do, but they wouldn't lead by example. And so,
exactly, yeah, they always tell you like you should be doing this, but they can't show you how to actually do it.
right. I remember being in the car with my cousins, riding with an older male relative in my family. And he told us, if you ever want to be something in life, don't never smoke weed. And then he started smoking the weed right in front of us.
Cliche.
We sitting in the back, we looking at each other, we just laughing. I'm like, we thought he was serious though, but you gonna tell us not to take a weed, then you gonna puff it right in front of us and right riding in the car with us.
Yeah.
And being with my child having autism, and people don't even know really what autism is. Teachers didn't know really how to address the kid with autism. You find they're not getting they're not getting the knowledge that they're entitled to have as well, because most people, they tend to shy from children with autism. A lot of them get labeled as just bad children. Some of them just get labeled as they're not going to comprehend anyway, so what's the point?
Like, so it's just so wide range to where I was like, this not working either, because now he's not getting taught the things that he should be taught. So I had to homeschool. So it was a lot that came to play with that. I watched him do.
Like, because I've seen somebody, so for a whole year, I watched this person. I ain't gonna put them out there though, but I watched this person stop doing what they was doing. This used to be my partner. I go out with every night. You know what I'm saying? No, we at the studio every night. We sipping something every other night though. But he stopped doing that for a whole year and maintain his grind and without, bro, just to be a witness to that shit, to bear witness to that though, it's amazing to see if you sacrifice and change your behavior, just the results and the outcome of that shit though, bro. That shit was like I said, to bear witness that it changed me though, bro.
That's what's up, man. So if you could give yourself any type of advice, like if you could go back 10 years and go see your old self, what type of
I didn't know I was even come from a poor family because I just thought that's what life was. Because all I knew was just my environment.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that, you know, how we was living was, there was a lot of poverty. I didn't know how we was living like it was even an issue with what was going on because it's all I knew. You know, I remember eating sugar breads. You know that ain't good for you. Porky beans and hot dogs with a lot of sugar and stuff like that. You know, so I remember those days.
You get a slice of bread, put some butter on it, put some sugar on it.
Yeah. Yes.
And most mothers, we cry in the shower. Cry. It's okay. It's okay to cry today. It's okay to cry tomorrow. It's okay to cry every day. But long as
like, crying didn't make you feel less than. It makes you feel more like it was a release.
Yeah. Crying is therapeutic for male and female. And the more you hold it, the more it eats at you.
Yeah, I love that.
It's heavy on you.
Crying don't make you weak.
Nah. It you push through that. I mean, even if it's just a holler, you know, they have this thing where you can go break stuff now. Go. Think outside the box. Go do stuff. I went and bought a boat. I don't even know how to swim. I'm just go float because it's therapeutic. You know, things that I want to do for me that was therapeutic. I was like, it's time to do. So
the man of the hour.
How's it going?
Man, sorry to have you join on a little bit later than expected. But how you doing, man?
Doing great.
I know a lot been going on with you lately.
Just a lot actually. I mean, recovering was the biggest one, honestly. It's kind of put me in a little bit of a position to not be as further as I wanted to be. You know, I heard that you also had your injury yourself, so
yeah.
But we were recovering. I'm out the sling. We good, you know. Got good. You know, reverse dislocation ain't nothing I would recommend. So
kind of elaborate on that. Like, what was that like for you?
Life changing. Something that I could say that has put me in a different pivot in life with decisions, my time, and my company as well. So I've been really kind of dialing in on who it's going to be, who's with me, my team, and the people around me. And it's really just like, get it now. You know, you never know. Life's unpredictable. It's short. Life can take you out any way it wants to. So, yeah, it's precious. I learned that it's precious, definitely, to be able to be still here and meet these other new people and involved with the music industry and just creating and collaborating. That's been the most humbling thing to me lately because I couldn't imagine not being here and having all that I've been working really hard on, get this project out, and then, you know, who and what would have done it, you know? So
how did you stay mentally dialed in throughout that whole process? Because I know, like, for me, it was times where like the pressure kind of kicked in a little bit. I'm like, I gotta sit off. I can't do nothing. I can't even sleep the same way I want to. I can't do a lot. And I'm like, I was building up to a certain point, and I feel like this setback about to hinder me a little bit, all the progress that I've made.
And how long? What's to expect? You know, like kind of life altering changes is going to be continuously. You know, like I didn't know I'd have to adapt and change my whole way of like working and doing just in general all the things that I was used to doing with two arms. And I was out for like 2.5 months in that sling, and it was just irritating, hard to sleep. And so I had to really adjust and overcome some of these obstacles that were mentally making me like doubt that I was going to be able to continue. And I was in I don't know if you heard about the opening act competition they had for 2023. I enrolled into that, and so that kind of was like an opportunity I would have never actually had gotten if I wouldn't have been in that circumstance, like that unfortunate circumstance that I was in that car accident. So it was like a hidden blessing, and I took the advantage of that opportunity while being in that bed rest moment, and just looked into it, gave it some time of my own, and took it off to see what, as far as my supporters, my fans, and all those people out there that know what I've been doing and how much I've been doing it for, to kind of see where to support that, and that kind of rebuilds my confidence, kind of helped me kind of go through this whole process of recovering. And yeah, life is crazy, man. Like since we last did the interview part 1, we're on part 2. But yeah, like 2 years from now, I would not have expected myself to be in the situations I've had come my way at all.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for him either way,
Like I can't say if I would have been in that car accident and the way it happened, I wouldn't be in the mind state,
I guess you could say, where it's like now or never. And the project I'm working on right now is super clever, super awesome. It's kind of got a little bit of the essence of, grief and the healing. And in that, nothing short from explaining on how to really kind of go about making an enlightening stage and path for others that might also be going through the same thing. We're always losing people. People never stay, people always leave. And that's something that I've had a hard time kind of accepting as a fact. But, we do have people, we have real ones. We have all those people out there that, support us, and they're always down from the day one. Like my twin sister, she was one, RIP. Yeah. And, like there's other people around too that you'll get to meet in your endeavors in life and what you do. And you got to make sure you just tighten up that crew. You got loose bolts, you got screws, you got all those kinds of parts that you need to make it smooth or make it a little bit more of a crazy ass show, so you kind of just got to go with the flow. Like me, I've been kind of just seeing what the world will allow me to be and just tuning into the universe, learning as much as I can while I'm still here, and taking the predictables and the unpredictables and just staying blessed and grateful.
Damn, that's dope. So you said one of the things was grief and overcoming grief. That's what people can expect in your new album. What was that creation process like? Because I know that you probably had to dig deep, and like you said, it's just a little bit of things that you had to learn to deal with along the process. But was it like a therapeutic session for you?
It is truly an experience that, like, to really captivate in words is very hard to put together, but at the same time, it's beautiful. And if anyone can like any way understand like the moments of being that vulnerable, to have someone reciprocate that vulnerability and relate to a whole nother level, it's beautiful, man. I can't tell you, like, it's like I'm not alone. Like, I thought after losing a twin, being a twinless twin, which it ain't like that. I'm always gonna have my twin. She's just up there, But I'm not alone. I got other people with me, and we all have our own crazy stories. So, like the booth, when I'm in there, it takes that pressure off me and gives me another perspective from another person who's also artistically able to get into that kind of zone and give me insight. 'Cause sometimes when you really tap into those emotions, those deep rooted stuff that puts you in a position to be who you are can be making your voice shake and tremble. And so like I'm really kind of working on trying to like get in that connection with the producer. And shout out Cyclone in here in the lab right now watching. He's actually one I've been working with really closely on this project with. And shout out Navarre as well, his studio. We've been working in there together with some collaborations from people in Utah. And we're just putting our words together, emotionally connecting, vibes all over the tracks. You know, I'm just excited to let it out. And what y'all really want to be looking for out is the title, Can You Hear Me? That's the project. That's what we got coming in play.
Okay.
We're about, I think I honestly got it down to 11 songs, and that's where I want it. And then I got, after that, a couple other projects to release kind of in a flow of steadiness. And yeah, dial in, you know, get that music video.
So what was that song selection process like?
Huh?
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what was it like? Like, how did you pick which ones was going to be on this project?
So that was like a process of elimination for me, because I had originally wanted to go 17 songs for the project, but yeah, 11 numbers like that, 11, they resonate with me, and I just want to manifest everything that I can do as far as giving to the world, anybody I know, as far as artists, you know, like just even fans and the people that can listen, just give them healing energy and enlightenment of just the things that I've come to perceive and find as far as hidden blessings that has come in my life that you don't really never see or come to find those hidden blessings until after the fact. And then you're more humbling and just like kind of like coming to some of those things that you're like, wow, I didn't notice, you know, that was something that kind of played a small factor, but definitely put me into that position to actually have that opportunity.
Oh, that's most definitely real. So, I mean, so you gave us a song that you recommend. What is the first song off the track?
Ooh, okay, so this one is
Did you move now?
it's Alert. It's called Alert. And
Alert.
ALLURE. It's kind of got like some XXXTentacion vibes, and I wanted to kind of go out of a perception of my own mind, something that doesn't really go into my life for once. You know, I kind of want to actually kind of go into someone else's. That's if I can relate any type of hardship and just choices and stuff like that we go through. I kind of wanted to put another perception of my own and from another point of view, and so I got like tapped into a kind of emotion, and yeah, it's just like a whole adventure. You could see throughout the lyrics that I go, and you'll see the subliminals about like where the world is, these current like energies and moods and things that are kind of behind that be like putting us in those state of mind frequencies, you know, depression, all that stuff. Like you gotta rise above it. You gotta, you know, vibrate out of that kind of stuff. You gotta know it's not always gonna be like that.
Nah, yeah, that's most definitely real. So, what was like your favorite part when it was coming down to making this project? Is it the you hear in the end result, or is it just like the vibe, like what you said?
It's definitely
like
the connecting part, the vibe process of just dialing into that energy, the vibrato, the style, the key, how you really kind of collaborate, especially with someone else. I mean, I got in this project maybe about 4 features, I'd say, to be exact, and no more than that. I got other features on these other projects, but for that mixtape debut, it's gonna be 4. And those 4 people, shout out y'all for coming to these sessions and coming through. Y'all's energy was mint, and we learn. We always continue to learn when we collaborate. So that's something that, you know, we always take into consideration while we're artists making these kind of music, kind of things to think about. But yeah, I really kind of got moved on learning and giving also, you know, kind of like substance, giving substance to other people to think about in their daily life. Because, you know, we're not really taking the small things and taking it for a whole perspective of adding it to your life and giving you a little bit more fruitfulness of these things that we experience. And, you know, just being present is what really is hard to tap into and be, you know, happy and have those, you know, moments where when you're not always perfect, not always, you know, able to convey those emotions or be on your boss level shit, you can still have those days where you can at least be vulnerable. And this project completely kind of goes into that vulnerability of my, you could say, troubles. And so kind of captivates just the struggles of pain, the beauty, and the collateral damages of when you just don't come to a way of, letting it out in a way, bottling it in is not healthy. You just explode and you do something irrationally to somebody, and it never really goes in a favor to work on a positive note, yes, you could say. But yeah, it's just been a lot of trying to stay positive and remain strong, because the mind can be as strong as you need it to, but you also got to work on your. And lately, I haven't been able to do that with that injury. Yeah. So I can only work on my mind and my voice. So as physical as that goes, it still goes and kind of messes with my mental, not knowing that I can physically be the way I was before the accident happened. But, getting this project where it's at right now has actually kind of helped me find solace in knowing that it's not just having to be physically fit, but working on that mental aspect too. Getting that equipped.
You ain't lying. Yeah. So how did you who kind of inspires you to take this journey? Like to, cause like artists,
my twin sister, you could say, would be the origin and of my passion into it. It was like a fun twin rivalry thing we did growing up. Who had the best skills? I started playing guitar acoustic wise, and so she ended up picking up, I believe, piano, keyboard, and I was just like, ooh, I like that too. I'm like, I'll trade. You can use my acoustic, I'll play your keyboard. And we just ended up, kind of having that twin rivalry thing going about like who could do it the best, who could, and it was something that just kept me steady driven. Had that ambition. It was never going to go because she was always there, always keeping me on my toes and keeping it fun too, Yeah. So that's definitely where we had that, bond, that unbreakable bond that keeps me to this day driven and goal orientated to, just hit it like a bullseye, Yeah. So I'm really just trying to make sure I tap into those the best way possible to also kind of, give homage to those others that are also dealing with the same thing that I could possibly be dealing with, and, just give, shed light onto that, because grief is something I never thought could be such a worthy opponent in life.
Yeah. No, that's most definitely real. That's most definitely real. So we kind of went over, what the intro is, the song you want people to hear. What's the song you're excited to perform?
The project itself?
Yeah.
So there's this one song, Punching Bag. It's really good, but I collaborated it. If I were to perform it, I'd have to have this girl with me to perform her part. But it would be really interesting to see how she also gets on stage. I'd like to see her presence and how she can, deliver what she delivered in the studio, which was beautiful. Shout out Stormy. So yeah,
that's dope.
And it was a fun, awesome energy. Was just awesome. So can't wait to be able to see if that energy kind of bleeds into that live audience as well when we get into that position to perform that. So
how did you get over the whole fear of performing?
I've definitely been put into positions where I've had to dance, and I like dancing. I love, it's a way to express yourself, let out the energy, and have fun, be silly, forget about the, the stresses and worries, and just let it all out. Like Taylor Swift, shake off, you feel me? But that was one of the biggest things. I actually was back in the day tap dancing. I used to tap dance, and I had to get big stage in front of everybody, and I was definitely it was crazy. An experience that I cannot ever forget. And my sister was also there with me during that time as well. We never really far apart growing up. So if I was doing this,
think your environment played an impact on the project.
But
I'm sorry. I cut you off a little bit. What was the last part?
It's just basically saying if I wasn't there, she was there. If she was there, we had each other's back. And if anything, if we weren't particularly in that, I never wasn't into modeling as much as her when she was doing it. Mm-hmm. And so after she passed, I kind of wanted to implement that into myself and to kind of keep that legacy in her, and knowing that like I would have never gotten into it as much as I did and currently am if it wasn't for her kind of putting me on like that in a way she did. And so like, you know, she's the biggest aspiration and inspiration in what I've done, you know.
That's most definitely dope. So, is we gonna hear like the influences, like your actual environment, like where you from, your upbringing. For those that haven't tuned into the first episode that me and you have done,
Right.
how your environment plays like a fingerprint on you and your project.
And I mean, as far as that goes, like you say, 2 years ago from when we had that interview to now, it's different. It's like I'm not even with that same clique. RIP to MCO, he passed away. And so, like, SAS as a movement, what we had then, kind of wasn't something that I wanted to kind of like, I wanted to go somewhere, but like, you know, things happen, people change, you know, things as far as people, you know, not always going to be there, and unpredictableness. Yeah, you know, like, he was definitely the glue into the SAS kind of like adventure. And so after that, you know, and a new adventure kind of came about. I've met some other new people. We're still doing the music grind, you know, out here in the 307, 435, Utah, Wyoming, you know. And so I'm trying to reach different areas as well to collaborate with other artists and do bigger heights of things that, like, from last year that I achieved. I want to be able to, you know, like, just triple that, you know, just keep it going. And despite even the unpredictable things of grief in the past and the people that, you know, aren't here today, I want to not let any of that deter me from the, you know, driven passion and emotion that I have ambition-wise, that, like, I know I have, and what I believe, what I can do, and what my sister also seen in me. I want to be able to, you know, exemplify to others and show the strength of just, you know, like, we're still here, you know, we gotta be thankful for that. You know, there's a reason for me not being dead in that accident. I should have died, you know, but we got blessed by a guardian angel, which, you know, my twin sister, RIP, love you. You know, like,
Yeah, so shout out to the 307.
Don't take life for granted.
Yeah. Shout out to the 307. Do you think that it's hard or easy for like up and coming artists to make it out of the 307?
It is, especially around here. It's not very a glorified area for hip hop, and it's not very much of a supported scene as I thought it would be. You know, I mean, as far as what we've done so far, we still get some support, but as far as country and all these other genres, rock and all that, you got a huge more supportive audience out here than you would have comparably to hip hop or rap by a long shot. So if any ways you make it out of here in that area, I give, you know, my salute, my applaud, you know. And I'm not trying to make it out. I love it here, but I'm also trying to find better opportunities to get a better audience to speak to show and enlighten and uplift.
Well, that's most definitely real. So, what are some of the challenges with reaching those outside markets?
Right now, it's been just taking the distractions that's been kind of helping me deal with my emotions, because sometimes I'm not always with my emotions, and I'm working on that. But, you know, like, sometimes you want to get distracted. You go to a bar scene, you drink too many drinks, and you're not thinking about it. But that kind of mindset ain't going to get you really nowhere but regrets. I mean, currently my battles have been not trying to be an alcoholic, work on being a little bit more straight on a narrow path, and continue to grow within my temple, my vessel, my body, and to just ascend to another level that I would never have seen, you know, just to fully believe myself to just evolve into what I've always dreamt of being.
No, that's real. So at what point did you feel like it was time for a change on how you was coping with life?
That car accident. When I reversed dislocated that shoulder, that really was a moment of recollection that took me into a point where I wanted to hear something, because I was having a very hard time dealing with the social media aspect. Sometimes, I still see pictures of people posting about my sister and stuff like that, and certain days, holidays or birthdays, you get a little bit more emotional, and certain things will trigger you. And I think what I've come to learn is being in those point of being triggered, you can almost abstain from those triggers and find a better way of handling, your emotions. And mine is to be able to convey it into a mic and to fully understand it without being reckless and hurting others around me, trying to cope with these emotions that, I deal with on a daily, regular basis.
That's real. I realized that, like, shoot, man, finding that healthy way to cope with life is also like a part of life.
And that's the beautiful part in life, too.
Yeah. And, like, everybody got their thing. Some people run. I say some people write. Some people cook. So it's like there's certain things that, like, people pick up, and that, like how you said, it helps them actually advance and grow in life.
Right.
Because they found a new way to deal with life.
Yeah, definitely. There's always plenty of ways and, alternative sources to find into taking things off the mind and not directly having to just, get hit like a punching bag, You can shield up, You got a distraction over here, left hook over there, So
that's definitely real.
Yeah, you definitely got to
cover art. What's the inspiration behind the cover art?
Mentally and physically. And cover art, I had to cancel a photo shoot, but shout out to Coda. We're gonna get that dialed in. I think this Friday. She's doing the photography on that cover art, but we're gonna be doing some shoots here Friday. I'm gonna go over a couple of I want to say like 5 of the best ones we get. But I have a huge already the idea. It's beautiful. It's gonna be something that incorporates my sister and incorporates my surviving, experience. And incorporates just a shift of my consciousness going into huge, like, tap of source of healing energy,
Oh, that's most definitely real. That's most definitely real. So, is that the last piece to the puzzle?
The last piece of the puzzle is definitely to heal myself first through this project, and then from that point, you'll get the picture for sure of where I'm going to be, who I am, and what's going to happen in the future. A lot of things. We got a lot of cool collective ideas. Shout out the Hive. We got that going in the mix, so that's going to be really cool. We're going to be doing a bunch of podcasts for a bunch of artists locally. We'll even go globally. We ain't stopping in this area. We're going to go and shoot for the stars, the moon, fucking Mars.
After you start talking your talk, you already doing that, but in conversation.
Yeah. So
what do you think is one of the biggest things we can learn from
together? So now we're just about to get the meetings and, just financially go about certain things to make sure we can account for certain circumstances that we'll possibly face. You never know. You always got to be kind of ready, but nobody can ever be really ready.
Man, what? That's 100. That's 100. That is 100. How?
What up, the bitty man? Composer Custom Inc. What's up, folks? Punkin. What's good?
Oh yeah, talk to us. We'll talk back. And if any of y'all got any questions for him, go ahead and ask it in the comments.
And feel free, guys. I got quite a few things coming along. I'm excited to be able to implore you guys' questions and give you a little bit of light into that, what you were curious about, and lots of stuff to happen, like a music video at the airport. I'm going to make happen. It's got to happen. So we've been trying to tap into that and to be able to get that creative source out. So that's happening. People that want to be able to get there in and, get a cameo in that, they're more than welcome to join in. Ain't nobody got to, feel like they're secluded. We're all about here, making sure everybody's, involved, be a part of something that's worthwhile.
No, that's for real. Make memories.
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely make memories. So then you got another project that's coming right after this one?
Yeah, That one's an EP, so tough. It's called 7.
You said, what you doing, 4-song EP, or how you gonna do it?
It'll be 7 songs, but it'll be 6 songs for my actual huge exclusive fans. There'll be an exclusive song option they'll be able to get if they, go for that. And if they want to be able to see that part, there's gonna be different versions of songs that will be already done in the album, but there'll be a different version of it. It'll be like part 2, but like alternative version. So with a possible different feature, collaboration from another artist. So huge dates coming soon as well. De Niro Ferrar. If I go back out to North Carolina, I'd like to collaborate with that guy. He is also a huge inspiration to just some of the rawness in the culture of rap, and he taps into some of those things that like I've obviously felt and experienced, and mentally just like he's very intelligent and knows his stuff. So like I give my hat off to him, and hopefully here in North Charlotte, shout out to y'all. Y'all are awesome. My family out there, got to see them, meet them out there. North Carolina was beautiful, it was warm, and I hope to collaborate with some of y'all artists out there as well. Besides De Niro Ferrar, shout out to the industry out there, the artists, the love, everybody out there that makes it, rock and shake the scene. It's one heck of a growth. Honestly, I've never been in an area like that that's had that much ability and talent. So it's a pretty cool place.
Oh, that's pretty dope. Pretty dope. So what is like that one dream person, or that person that you was like, if I could collaborate with them, this is, you feel me? Like how some people like, man, I love to have Drake on the track. Like if I get a Drake feature.
J. Cole. Can't wait. J. Cole. Dreamville, keep it real.
So why J. Cole?
J. Cole.
What is it about J. Cole that you feel like, yeah, that's that one?
One song that like middle child, I don't hit home, really resonated with me, and he just gets those topics in a different perspective. And this perspective, particularly in that song, I mean, wouldn't be much of a hard perspective for him to kind of, grasp or create or, put into reality. But there's others that, like, when he makes his songs, some other perspectives that he can kind of, like, it's almost like he's such a humbling soul of a human being to be able to put himself in someone else's shoes so well. He can lyrically put it together like a story that as if it's coming from somebody that he created. Or maybe not created, he's known, and he's just talking about their story to give, shed on just, other people that are going down an experience that he may not be able to know, but know off of someone else he knows,
Yeah, no, that's most definitely real.
That's tough. That's tough. That's cool stuff.
Well, all right, so now we got the dream feature. Well, is it a certain producer that you'll be like, hey man, if he could touch on mine, or if I get one of his beats, I'm a moonwalk in that joint.
Oh, good question. That's a good question. So I've recently looked and come across a lot of them actually, but just a few right now that I've been directly, talking to and working with business-wise on these beats and, these stuff. Yvonne, shout out Yvonne.
He's definitely in the project. He's got some beats. Yajik's got some heat. And I guess if anything, I'd rather be keeping it personal. There ain't no dream aspect to as far as a producer specifically. But there's definitely one, and his name is Evan, but he goes by Prod Finicky, or no wait, did he change it? Prod Patrick now. Prod Patrick. Okay. And so he has been working with me. He actually had a kid recently, so his stuff's been slowing down a little bit, but I ain't do that. All the best his way as far as that goes, newborn wise. And he's definitely good as far as the ear. I don't know. He's definitely had been on a couple projects I've released right now already. Like
I don't know if you've heard it yet, Bonnie and Waisanti. That one he with the beat for it, and that was really fun.
I'm about to go listen to it now.
Yeah, if y'all have not heard it up, run it up. It's on YouTube. It's on SoundCloud. You can find it on Spotify, I believe, as well, and Apple. So it's on, I think, majority of those streaming platforms. What up, Dub 3?
I got a question for you. What have you learned from your fans?
I've learned just recently throughout this competition for the opening act 2023, We Will Survive, Audacity.
I learned that my supporters are actually closer than I thought. My fans are actually a lot closer than I thought. I thought they were further away. And weirdly enough, I don't know why I would think that, but I guess when I first started SoundCloud analytics and looking into my numbers, I was actually getting a lot of views from other people in Ukraine, some other places in like Netherlands and other, like, I was like, wow, like, why, well, how am I reaching out to those? But, whatever, cool. I wonder if they understand my lyrics or if they understand English and how that song resonates with them. But, cool, that's badass, like, I'm reaching different countries. So that's like a cool aspect. But what really made me find that into learning and off my fans is just that I can't really segregate my fans, I got quite a bit of, I got gay fans, I got, women, I got brown, black, you name it, like different kinds, different countries. Like, it's been interesting to kind of like get shook in a sense of what I thought my actual base of audience would be and what it actually is now. And it's a little bit even hitting an older audience, which, I didn't even expect to reach in the 40s, you would say. And I got fans in the 40s, fans in the 50s, fans in the 60s. I don't think in the 70s yet, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's fun though. It's a great time just to be able to experience and see those that actually hear me, understand me, and maybe kind of like underline what I'm really talking about in these lyrics, these subliminals, some of these things that I've been wondering if anybody does catch, if anybody ever notices and stuff like that, So I do find those people that will come to me and tell me some things. Some of my lines are like, "Yo, did you say this? Did you say that?" I was like, "Oh, that was hard." I was like, "Yeah, heck yeah, you listen to it. That's good. That's good. You actually caught that verse. You caught that bar." What's coming next is actually doing lyrics, getting these lyrical videos on YouTube for these visuals. So I got 4 music videos. Hey, Brady Earl, my boy, what's good? Shout out him. He is definitely a videographer, and he's hopefully to be expected on this project visually as well. So definitely want to see him in that Can You Hear Me project. And we'll hear it soon, my guy. I gotta say, we're dropping the next project November 11th. Save it on your calendars. But I'll definitely throw probably something else to keep you guys on, edge. I know I haven't released since then. Bonnie Wansanti was my last project I released. So, yeah. And then we also, as far as Brady Earl, if y'all haven't checked it up on YouTube, For the Bag, he did that. That is the guy. Effects, visual with the drones, all of that, cool gadgets, he's got it. Real wonderful guy to work with when it comes down to the visual aspect of anything, not even music videos. Like, he'll even get your real estate sold by making it look sexier than you even thought it could look.
That's real.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, there's a lot to it though, as far as other people you meet and the people and the skill sets that you find that will also like a compliment and accompany you throughout the journey and what you're doing. And it's just like, you gotta find those people and make sure those bonds stick and keep it real 100. You never know what even happened to them